Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I have with me my dear friend Kyle, who scored 700 in her first attempt at Gmat but with just preparation of 3 months. And let's hear from Kyle how her journey has been so far.
Thank you, Smita, for this video. I hope it helps a few people.
For sure.
My journey, actually, I very suddenly made a plan to do an MBA. It was a random bedroom talk we had, me and my husband, and we suddenly thought we'll write GMAT and then I'll go for an MBA.
And your husband has taken Gmat earlier, and
yes, he has. He is an alum from IIM Calcutta. So what happened is, one day we decided, and the next day he brought all his books for me to prepare. And then this was in July, the first week of July, that I started preparing. The first thing I did was to take a diagnostic test. I think I took the official test, the first one, and the free test that is available, and I scored a 610. Then I knew my husband had set a target for me, like a minimum target for me, saying you have to score at least 700 to get an admit this year.
Seems like he played a major role in your entire Gmat journey.
Totally he did. Because before that I didn't even know what the pattern of Gmat could be. Though I was always interested in verbal and quants, this was the first time I was giving a structured Gmat exam as such. So what happened is I started preparing from that day, but before the preparation could start, we actually booked the exam date itself. So it was like 90 marks I had to improve.
It's kind of funny because you mentioned it. In my previous interview, Rohit mentioned that he booked his Gmat just 1 week before when he felt totally prepared, and that was his recommendation. So I told him that in certain cases it serves as a reminder or it serves as a goal setting when you book your Gmat in advance, and for someone it serves as a stressor. So in your case, it serves as a goal setting and you chased your goal really well.
Totally. I think it's also about the personality of people. I am more of a sprint runner, not a marathon runner. So what happened is we booked the date and it was 3 months away. In 3 months, I had to improve 90 marks. So then what I started preparing is...
And you were applying in round 2 and you wanted...
Totally, yeah. So already round 1 applications and everything, the process was completely over and we were nearing round 2. So I did not have much of a time. I had to apply on October 17th to Calcutta. So I didn't have time at all. So what I decided September last week is when I give my Gmat. We actually kept a buffer of 15 days in case I had to retake Gmat because of whatever reason, unfortunately. There is a buffer of 15 days to take another attempt of Gmat.
And that's always great. I mean, that is something that students should keep in mind, aspirants should keep in mind, that whenever their last date of application is, in case something goes wrong in the Gmat, and they can still apply if they have taken Gmat somewhat earlier than their application date.
True, it always helps. And then one thing I did, and I think I would suggest that to the applicants, aspirants as well, is I did not prepare or solve questions from any other sources except the official guide. It was official guide of different years and then VR and the QR of different years. So only these books were the things that I followed, and I continuously and consistently kept practicing those questions. And fortunately, around that time, my office workload was also a little low. It was a lean period, so
that always helps.
Yeah, it was. So I was able to spend about 3 to 4 hours per day on a working day. And on weekends, I used to spend about 6 hours. Though I did not spend all 24 hours in preparation, cutting down on my social life, visiting places and other stuff really helped me. In fact, I asked my husband to help me in my preparation, teaching me some concepts and all that. But he actually told me, I'll take care of everything else at home. You want to do any household chores, I'll do it. But preparation, you yourself do it. That I think that actually helped me a lot. And we even outsourced cooking for those 3 months. We are not big fans of outsourcing cooking, but that time we actually stuck to it. We bought food from outside and we kept it as much as the time that I could have. I have only for preparation, or I'll simply rest so that I'll have my mind space for preparation.
And you enjoy cooking a lot.
I do.
Because here in hostel also, when there is canteen, there's mess, you still cook your own food. So that was something of a sacrifice that in your case, some people don't like household chores and cooking, but in your case, you really love cooking. So that was something that you had to sacrifice for Gmat preparation.
Totally. I had to forego cooking and eating my comfort food, and then I had to quit. I'm a person who wants to go to many literary events and all that. I had to forego all of them for those 3 months. In fact, I got an opportunity to do a TV show in between.
Oh my god, amazing.
Yeah.
And Kayal is a former TV presenter, so it's not a shocker that she got an opportunity to star in a TV show.
Yeah, so this was like a long-term show, 100-episode show that I had to do. But I did not take it up, saying I'll postpone it, not reject it, because rejecting an offer might mean that you lose that opportunity. So I said after my interviews, I'll take it up. And then I took it up after my interviews and finished it before I could come to IIM.
That is amazing. Where
Yeah.
can I see it?
It is on YouTube. I'll probably share the link.
Okay,
It is
definitely.
in Tamil, so I'm not sure.
But
if
I would love to see you and understand the expression and whatever I can get out of the video from that point.
Sure, we'll do that. So I had to forego all of these things, but cutting down on distractions really gave me a lot of time, because anyways all of us have 24 hours, but it is just about what we make use of it. Sometimes people say, "You come on, you're not studying all 24 hours. Why can't you come and join us
Yes.
for a tea in our home or anything?" But I had to do that because it was not just about time space, but it also was about my mind space that I had to take. And doing all of that, I started taking mock tests after 1.5 months. The first mock test I got a 680. That's when I gained my.
That's amazing, from 600 into 680.
Yeah.
And within a span of 1 month.
1.5 months.
1.5 months.
Yeah. So what helped me was, initially I had a hesitance to take any courses. I thought I was good enough. Why will I take a course? But again, my husband came to the rescue. He said, "You're going to spend so much on an MBA. This is like 1/100th of that expenditure. Why do you even care? Spend that whatever money." And I took a course from Quant Verbal, their online package, the entire package.
And you took both for verbal, math,
Total,
quants.
yeah, the entire package I took. And then that I took on the very first day. The day we booked our exam, that very day I actually signed up for the Quant Verbal course also. And I did not even, actually, to be honest, I did not even watch all the videos in that, because it would have taken I don't know how many hours. I didn't have so much time. But I watched those videos only for those concepts where I wanted conceptual clarity. So I watched those videos and started practicing every day. 1.5 months later, I got a 680 in my first mock that I took after preparation. And then I grew a little more confident. And I kept practicing for another 15 days. And then within like 2 months of my preparation, I totally got burnt out.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because I had no other distraction, and I'm a person who craves for variety in life. I just
And you
couldn't
love to
focus.
travel as well.
Yes, I do. So nothing was there, and that was around our wedding anniversary. That was our first wedding anniversary also. We had already planned a trip, and we had even booked tickets, but it was a local trip. So I was not in the mood or motivated to prepare that week. You know what? I took like 4 days total off from preparation, and then when we went on the trip, in the place, in a cottage, in the middle of nowhere in a jungle, I suddenly got my motivation back, and I really wanted to take that mock test that I had scheduled. So I had made a daily preparation chart, and a mock test was scheduled on that very day. So I thought I'll take that mock test whatever comes, and I took it, and I got 660. Now this was like an alarm for me. 20 marks less because I skipped preparation for 4 days. So I thought, no, I'm not leaving this consistency after this. So this was on August 27th. September 27th was my Gmat. For the next 1 month, I did a consistent practice. And before like 1 week of Gmat, I took my, I would say that was my 5th mock test. And in my 5th mock test, I got a 700.
So can I go back and ask, how did you schedule your mock test? Because in the span of 3 months, you took 5 mock tests. So how were they spaced?
Generally, I kept it like in alternate weeks for I think for a month, and after that I took it like every week. So that's how every weekend. Weekend is used to be mock test days for me. Saturday I used to take the mock test, and Sunday will be complete review time. Because more than taking the test, I think it's very important to review them completely. Even the questions that you answered right or answered wrong. So I did that very religiously. So after that, when I got a 700, I was quite confident, and I still did not give up on practicing. I practiced less number of questions, but I didn't really want to burn out on the day of exam, so I kept my preparation minimal. And 2 days before my exam, I took my 6th mock test. And with 6th mock test, I got like complete confidence that I would either get 690 or 700 because six mock test I got 690.
Okay.
So I knew very clearly, quite confidently, that my score would be either 690 or 700 on the day of exam. So without much of stress or anything, I entered the exam hall. I in fact finished it earlier than the time allotted for most of the things.
That is something amazing because I generally struggled with timing a lot.
Yeah, I used to struggle also because I either used to finish it like too early or it used to run out of time. I was struggling with the balance, but I think the mock test really helped. And simulating exact exam environment when you're taking a mock test is very important. No knocking on the doors or someone, yeah, all things happen, right? So keeping
Taking the practice test as seriously as you would take the actual GMAT, because it's a really long exam. It takes almost 4 hours to complete the entire exam. And what I used to do, I took a lot of mock tests. I took almost 20 mock tests compared to you.
Okay.
But what I used to do is after verbal, I used to go out, have tea, come back, and then sit for quants. It was really difficult to sit for all those 4 hours and give practice tests.
Yeah.
So that is something really important that applicants should build their stamina towards.
Very important. And another thing is with mock tests, again with mock tests also, I did not take even one private, any other third party mock test. It was all GMAT tests. I purchased the kit and I exhausted all the 6 tests in that kit.
Also, you bought extra 4 tests.
Yeah, extra 4 tests from GMAT. I did not take any other party GMAT mock tests. I think that gave a very clear idea for me on how the questions will be. In fact, I would have recognized whether it was a GMAT prepared question or a private prepared question on the look of a question itself. That kind of was a muscle built by preparing only with official questions for over a period of time. So I think these were the things that really helped me. Initially,
I wanted to ask whether in Crack Verbal did you get any additional test free with the course that you purchased?
Actually, I don't even remember if there was a test because I didn't care to look at them. And Crack Verbal also does not encourage you practicing from other sources. They also always encourage you practicing from official sources only. But my last 2-3 mock tests, I got reviewed by an expert from Crack Verbal also over a telephone call. So they gave me certain tips and tricks, but most of them were already known to me. That is another thing. And I am a person who makes a lot of careless mistakes. Most of the times, my mistakes used to be because I used to write like 2 into 3, 2 multiplied by 3 is 5.
Okay.
Most of my mistakes have been around that. So I had to build a muscle to avoid some of those careless mistakes even in spite of the time limit. I think working on that, and generally I was very comfortable with Quant. Verbal is one area where I had to put in a little more effort. When I say little more effort, RC, generally people might find it a little tedious, but reading comprehension was very comfortable and interesting for me because I'm generally a voracious reader. I like reading a lot and I'm a very fast reader also. But sentence correction, in the beginning when I started preparing, it seemed to be one of the easiest sections of GMAT. But as time progressed and harder questions kept coming because of the adaptive test thing, sentence correction was where I missed a lot of marks. So then I had to put in extra hours of practicing for sentence correction. I think that pretty much helped me to nail GMAT on the last day or the D day. And when I got the unofficial scores printed in my hand, I was really not surprised. In fact, I was happy, but I was not surprised because I knew I would get a 690 or a 700. It was a good day, I got 700. That was all my reaction was.
So to sum it up, I think very interesting points that you have raised, and if I need to highlight few of them, I feel support of family matters a lot when you are running across a very tight deadline to give GMAT, and then you need to sacrifice on all your usual routines that you have. You need to you need to design your entire life around GMAT and that goal that you have set for yourself. And aside from that, something that stands out very evidently in your entire journey is consistent. It's really important to practice every day because it's not about knowledge. It's about being in that exam zone where you want to crack that test. And that's when you practice every day, you are always in that test taking mode. And that is something, because with the example also that you mentioned, it came out very evidently that when you miss practicing for 4 days, your scores dropped. And instead of stretching the entire preparation to almost 6 months, 7 months, you condensed your preparation, but then you took very strict steps to design your lifestyle so that you are very consistent in terms of preparation. Even you had a schedule for taking the mock test also, and you didn't miss any of the schedule, so that also really helped. And a really big opportunity came your way during that time. You even postponed it so that you can focus totally on your GMAT score. And these are some of the key highlights from Kyle's journey that everyone can take away. And thank you, Kyle, so much for being here. I'm really happy that you took out the time, because your story is very different from what I covered earlier, and these are some of the very interesting pointers that aspirants can keep in mind. From these, do you have any last minute advice for the aspirants?
Actually, if I have to say, I'm not a very consistent person as well. But in this journey, consistency really helped me. So I think you pretty well summed it up from my journey. But consistency is something that is very important in this journey. I wish all the aspirants all the very best. And do reach out to us if you have any queries in the comment box. I think Smita and I will be happy to take those queries.
Thank you so much, Kyle, once again for being here. Thanks everyone for watching the video. Bye.